Welcome to another class of Microsoft PowerPoint. In our previous class, I've shown you how you can design your presentation. In this class, I'm going to be showing you about transitions. Transitions play a very vital role in making your animations look a lot more smoother, a lot more delicate, and a lot more professional. You can also apply different type of transitions inside of your workspace of Microsoft PowerPoint, and it also gives you off that functionality. So I'm going to be showing you every details in brief about transitions, how you'll be able to apply them, and how you'll be able to navigate through the interface to actually customize your transitions too. So without any further ado, let's move on to our class by opening up Microsoft PowerPoint on our device. From my screen, you can see that I have opened up Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, another thing what I'm going to do is going to remove out the rest of the other ones or the other files which I have opened. So here, as we have our workspace, our slide and everything, first thing what we need to do is go after the transitions ribbon. Now, when you go after the transitions ribbon, you will find out a lot of these transitions are going to be available to use. You can navigate through these options just by clicking on these buttons, or you can click on this to extend up the whole interface. So let's start off transitioning. But first thing, what we need is we need to have like couple of, these slides. So when you go off to the presentation mode, if you just click on like F5 or click on this over here, and you want to go off from one page to the second page, fourth page, you can see 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Just like this. But one thing you can see, if we do not have the zoom turned on, it will not work. So if I just delete this section, and if I go off the presentation mode, and if I go off from one page to the other, there is basically no smoothness. So if I want to make it look a lot more smoother and a lot more professional, I have to use transitions. First thing, what you want to do is select up the slide where you want your transition to be applied. So on my first page, what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to extend this up, and here you want to select the one or select the type of transition which you want to apply. So maybe I want cut, or maybe I want random bars. This is how it will look like. It will also give you off a preview or a bit of the preview of the transition. Maybe I want curtains, or maybe wind, or maybe white, whichever one you prefer. Now, even if you don't want something subtle, you can also use something exciting, like maybe an airplane. Or maybe I can use something like comb. I will also be able to apply doors, or how many of these options are basically available. So you can just select up the one, whichever one you want, and it will be applied to your screen or to your presentation. But one thing, if we go off the presentation mode, this is how it looks like. But if I go to the next page, it doesn't look any different. So I'm going to go back and I have to apply transitions on each and every one of these pages. Another short method of applying effects is that applying to all. So if I click on this over here and I have zoom applied, right? But what if I want something gallery based? So there we go, we have gallery. But I want the same customization or the same transition to be applied on all of the pages or of this presentation or this file. So what I basically have to do is I have to click on apply to all. Now, when I click on apply to all, and if I just go off the presentation mode, 1, 2, then we have is 3. You can also see this is how it looks like. 3, and then 4, and move on to 5. You can see this is how it looks like, but obviously we can. So now we have gone back and this is how it looks like. And number 5, we do not have any data. So it is basically not presentable. But obviously you can open up presentation mode on this blank page too. and it will just basically look blank. If we go off the previous page, this is how it will look like. If we go off to more previous pages, this is how it will look like. So there we go. We have applied transition to all of the pages. Another thing is that you don't have to worry about applying like multiple transitions to multiple pages. So in case in the second page, I want something random. And my third page, I want something flip. And let's say the fourth page, which we have over here, I want something maybe window. So now if I go off the presentation mode, you can see first one is like this. Second one is like this. Third one is like this. Let's just go back. And the fourth one is like this. So this is how it will look like, even if we go like front or back, whichever one you prefer. But you also have to customize that on your own. Now, how will you be able to do that? First off, what you want to do is we have this effect options from left to right or right to left. So we have a couple of variations of these transitions too. So just in case, maybe I have this transition of random. So I'm going to go after the third one and we have window, right? But here I'm going to click on effect option and you can also select on horizontal. So it's going to open horizontally. We can also open it vertically and this is how it will look like. So I'm going to keep it on horizontal. If we go after the fourth one, what I want to do is I want it from the left, not from the right. So this is how it will look like. Open up the presentation mode. Let's go off over here on F5 or click on F5. This is how it will look like. The second one. Then we have is the third one. This is how it will look. And obviously the fourth one. We can go back just like this, but obviously it's going to go back like this. So what if we just apply gallery to all of these? And now what I want to do is I want it from the left. So if I go off the presentation mode now, I'll be able to check the difference. So it's going to start off like this. And it's going to move on to the right again. Okay, like this. But on the second one, it's going to move on to the left. There we go. This is how it will look like, and this is how you can apply your customizations. And obviously, there are a lot of variations on each and every one of them. So if I have like a conveyor, and we can also apply it from left, we have fly through, we can have it in with bounce. We can also apply out with bounce. So all of these have like a couple of these options. So if I want checkerboard, I can also have it from the left or maybe from the top to bottom. So there we go. We have applied our transitions. Now the next thing what we have to do to customize our transitions is the sound. Now if you want to apply any specific sound, you can also do that. So if I click on sounds over here, I can also apply whichever sound I want. Maybe I want a bomb. So it's going to give you off a preview or a small preview. And even if you just open up presentation mode, it's going to start off with that sound. Okay, you can also have this sound applied. You can also turn it off anytime you want to. I'm just going to keep this over here and I'm going to reduce the sound really low. So this is how the sound will look like. We also have a specific duration of the sound, which you can control just by using these options. You can type in the number 2 and it will be applied. You can also use these buttons to fix it up. And you can also click on apply to all to apply all of these effects, which you have applied. Now, on the last thing, what we need to know is about the advanced slide option, where we have on mouse click and after. So there are two methods of how you'll be able to make, let's say, the transitions trigger up. Now, it could be on mouse click or it could be after any specific time. Now, if I go off to the first one, we have this after. So I'm going to turn on after instead of on mouse click. So I want after 3 seconds to change the slide. So I'm going to apply to all. And if I go off the presentation mode, this is how it will work. 1, 2, and 3. It's going to move on its own without me even touching any one of the buttons. It will also check out the number or the time of your CMOS battery, or let's say in simple words, your clock, which is being updated from time to time. Now, one thing or what I would suggest you to do when you want to use this duration or after a specific time is that rehearse your speech or whatever speech you have presented, rehearse it according to the time which you need and then apply the time over here so that after your speech is done or whatever you want to talk about is done, it's going to move on to the next slide on its own. So these are all the things that you need to know about transitions. Now, another thing that you will see over here is the preview. If you want to preview any one of your, let's say, you have applied one of your transitions, but you still don't know how it looks like. So if you click on preview, it will give you off a small preview of how it or how your transition is going to look like. Okay, so this is how you'll be able to apply your transitions and how you'll be able to customize it according to your desire so that it meets up your criteria. So thank you for watching this video up till the very end. And I also have a class project on how to use enhanced morph. So I'm going to show that to you step by step in my class project. And I would suggest you to practice it on your own and also upload it on our project panel too. So without any further ado, let's move on to our next class. So just practice all of these things on your own to get more comfortable with the interface and to get more familiar.